Hi, beautiful. We're reading A Course in Miracles in the text, chapter 5, Healing and Wholeness. We're in section 4, and I'll start in paragraph 4. I heard one voice because I understood that I could not atone for myself alone. Listening to one voice implies the decision to share it in order to hear it yourself. I'll pause here and say the Course many times mentions that as we extend a concept to our brothers, we'll see that it applies to us. But if we try to hoard it for ourselves and not apply it to others, then we'll be blind to the truth of it. The mind that was in me is still irresistibly drawn to every mind created by God, because God's wholeness is the wholeness of His Son. You cannot be hurt and do not want to show your brother anything except your wholeness. I'm going to pause here and say, your true self, cannot be hurt. That is the truth. Your ego can get hurt, your body identification can get hurt, but your true authentic self is beyond that, because it deals on the plane of reality, not illusion. You cannot be hurt and do not want to show your brother anything except your wholeness. Show him that he cannot hurt you and hold nothing against him, or you hold it against yourself. This is the meaning of turning the other cheek. Teaching is done in many ways, above all by example. Teaching should be healing because it is the sharing of ideas and the recognition that to share ideas is to strengthen them. I cannot forget my need to teach what I have learned, which arose in me because I learned it. I call upon you to teach what you have learned. I'm going to pause here and say, in word and deed. And sometimes the call to teach is just simply by exemplifying it in your life, and you will naturally be teaching others as they see your example. I call upon you to teach what you have learned, because by doing so, you can depend on it. Make it dependable in my name, because my name is the name of God's Son. What I learned, I give you freely, and the mind that was in me rejoices as you choose to hear it. The Holy Spirit atones in all of us by undoing, I'll pause here and say, undoing lies, undoing knots of grievances and lack of self-forgiveness and lack of self-love. The Holy Spirit atones in all of us by undoing, and thus lifts the burden you have placed in your mind. By following Him, you are led back to God, where you belong. And how can you find the way except by taking your brother with you? I'll pause here and say, if God is love, and you're seeking to find your way back to God, how can you find the way except by taking your brother with you? Can't find your way back to love without being loving. My part in the atonement is not complete until you join it and give it away. As you teach, so shall you learn. I will never leave you or forsake you, because to forsake you would be to forsake myself and God who created me. You forsake yourself and God if you forsake any of your brothers. You must learn to see them as they are and understand they belong to God as you do. I'll pause here and say, on a practical level, I cannot teach every person on the planet in the physical. Although, of course, Miracles does say all minds are joined. So as we learn and grow, we are affecting every mind on the planet as one heart, one mind. But it's interesting to me that it says, if you forsake any of your brothers, you forsake yourself and God if you forsake any of your brothers. It's interesting to me how often a Course states that it doesn't make exclusions. There's no exclusions to this. And that means that we recognize and understand that even the most, what we would consider, the ego would consider, and the world of man would be considered the lowliest people, the most broken and damaged, the most vicious and violent of people, even those God has not forsaken. You must learn to see them as they are and understand they belong to God as you do. How could you treat your brother better than by rendering unto God the things that are God's? Atonement gives you the power of a healed mind, but the power to create is of God. Therefore, those who have been forgiven must devote themselves first to healing, because having received the idea of healing, they must give it to hold it. The full power of creation cannot be expressed as long as any of God's ideas is withheld from the kingdom. The joint will of the sonship is the only creator that can create like the Father, because only the complete can think completely, and the thinking of God lacks nothing. Everything you think that is not through the Holy Spirit is lacking. How can you, who are so holy, suffer? All your past, except its beauty, is gone, and nothing is left but a blessing. Wow. So beautiful. Okay, let's stop here. I could keep reading because it's really beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. Okay, you know what? I gotta read the last paragraph. It's so good. I have saved all your kindness and every loving thought you ever had. I have purified them of the errors that hid their light and kept them for you in their own perfect radiance. They are beyond destruction and beyond guilt. They came from the Holy Spirit within you. And we know what God creates is eternal. You can indeed depart in peace, because I have loved you as I loved myself. You go with my blessing and for my blessing. You go with my blessing and for my blessing. Hold it and share it, that it may always be ours. I'm going to pause here and say, we're reminded in the Course that to give is to receive. And we cannot receive without giving. I place the peace of God in your heart and in your hands to hold and share. The heart is pure to hold it, and the hands are strong to give it. We cannot lose. My judgment is as strong as the wisdom of God, in whose heart and hands we have our being. His quiet children are his blessed sons. The thoughts of God are with you. So beautiful. I love at the beginning of this paragraph where it says, all your past except its beauty is gone, and nothing is left but a blessing. So I'll pause here and say, we're taught in A Course in Miracles that we are to let go of the past and not hold on to grievances. And yet here, I love that it adds, all your past except its beauty is gone, and nothing is left but a blessing. Because we're taught that only love is real. So what good can we glean from the past? I had a mentor once who liked to say, accept what it is, accept it. It is what it is. Whatever's happened, isness, embrace isness. And then glean the good, because there is good, there is beauty in everything. Even in the most horrific of situations, speaking for myself, some of the most difficult and painful things I've been through were my greatest teachers. And of course, as I was going through it, I didn't want to go through it, and I didn't feel like it was worth it in the moment. But then looking back from a healed place, from a place of strength, I realized if I hadn't have gone through that experience, I wouldn't have the strength and the blessings that I have now. All your past except its beauty is gone. So we glean the good. We accept what it is. It is what it is. Accept it. We glean the good. And that is the beauty, that is the strength, that is whatever lesson and gift it brought us. There's always a gift in every scenario, in every circumstance. There is a gift. It might be hidden, it might appear to be ugly at the surface, but contains gold within. Nothing is left but a blessing. It is what it is. Accept it, glean the good, and then let go of the rest. Let go of the rest. It's useless. After we've gleaned the good, after we've extracted the gold, it doesn't do any good to carry around a backpack full of heavy rocks, of grievances, of anger, of blame, self-blame, self-recrimination. We're often hardest on ourselves. And as we let go of that, and we let go of the self-condemnation and the condemnation of others, we set it down, we put that backpack full of rocks down and realize it really was just slowing us down. It wasn't giving us anything. The ego is such a liar, and it will tell us if we carry that backpack of grievances everywhere and hold on to our rage, hold on to our anger, hold on to our recrimination, it will somehow keep us safe, but it doesn't. It doesn't keep us safe. Not in the slightest. It just causes a lot of unnecessary suffering. Thank you for being here with me today, beloved. You are so beautiful. Remember, we are here to give what we have received. And you, just by being you, your true authentic self, are a way shower. You don't have to be, do, or have, or change, fix, force, or correct anything other than being your true authentic self right now in this moment. Because you are already perfect, whole, and complete. You are already an embodiment of love. Coming home isn't going somewhere. It's seeing yourself correctly as you truly are. And as you do that, you'll see others correctly as they are. I love you. See you soon.